Hi, I'm Bob, here with Doug from Events with Cars, here to talk about my 1971 Buick GSX. 1971, they built 124 GSXs, and of those 124 cars, probably 12 to 15 of them were colored Stratomist Blue, and of those, there's approximately 5 known to exist, and this is one of those 5. I acquired this from a Mecum auction out in Portland, Oregon, back in June of 2017. And at that time, I was just going out to look at the car. I had no idea that there were blue GSXs in 1971, so I was amazed, and I just wanted to go look at it. And I ended up so enthralled with the car that I decided to go ahead and bid on it, unbeknownst to my wife, and ended up getting it. And afterwards, I talked with 2 gentlemen who were there, also big Buick fans, and they explained to me that there's actually possibly a backstory to this car, in that there was rumors of the original engine and transmission being out there somewhere. So when I got home, and even before I got delivery of the car, I Googled the VIN number, and up came an email from 6 years prior from a gentleman in central Pennsylvania named Pat, asking other Buick aficionados, does anybody know who owns this car? And he referenced this VIN number because I have something of great value to the owner. And so we exchanged phone numbers, and I drove out there, my wife and I drove out there with our truck, and he showed me the original engine, the original transmission, and we put them in the back of my truck, and I said, Pat, I said, we haven't talked about what you want for these items. And he said, Bob, they belong to your car. I'm just happy to have them go back with the original car. I said, Pat, you've had these for 25 years. Let me at least give you something for the storage fees. And he absolutely would not take a dime. He's just a true Buick fan and a friend. So we had this car restored at Autocraft. Kurt Anderson and Todd Miller were the restoration experts. And we started that project in 2019, and about 2 years later we finished. And we brought it to Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals in November 2021. And we had an unveiling together with a white 1970 4-speed GSX. And those 2 cars were unveiled just at the entrance to Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals. It was quite an honor for me. And we had it judged, and we got Concourse Gold there. Then in May of 2022, we trailered it down to Bowling Green, Kentucky for Buick GS Nationals in 2022. And we got 399 points out of 400. We then brought it to Lisle for Buick Nationals in 2022. That was in June. And again, we got 399 points, or Gold Concourse as well. It's got the original engine still being rebuilt, and it's coming along nicely, the original transmission as well. What we ended up doing was keeping the 455 Stage 1 engine in it because it presented very nicely. So the 455 Stage 1 in 1971, I believe it was rated at 345 horsepower, and it put out, I believe, 460 pounds of torque. It was slightly derated from the 1970 GSX at 360 horsepower and 510 pounds of torque, but still an incredibly powerful engine. Buicks were known at that time to put out a tremendous amount of torque. And so just a beautiful restoration by Autocraft. I'm truly blessed to be the owner of this car. So that's a little history and background on the prominence of the '71 Buick GSX.